All right, this is your dividing decimals review. At this point, everyone should have this worksheet and a pencil. Anything that I write on the computer screen, you guys are going to need to copy on your sheet, and this sheet will get glued into your math notebook or placed into your yellow folder at the end of the video. The first one that we are going to review is 5 and 36/100ths divided by 4. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to go ahead and get set up our box method here that we've been learning about. And I apologize, it's going to look a little wonky because I'm not used to drawing on a computer. But we're going to go ahead and set up our box. 4 is going to go on the outside. And then I'm going to get ready to go ahead and start asking myself those questions. How many times? Oh, wait, before I do that, I forgot. I've got to move that decimal and set it up on the roof. So that's first thing there. Now I can go ahead and start asking myself those questions. How many times can 4 go into 5? 1 time. 1 times 4, 1 times 4 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. I move the 1 up and over to the 3. How many times can 4 go into 13? 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. And that makes that a 16. How many times can 4 go into 16? That is 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. I subtract, and I get 0. So therefore, my answer to the problem is 1 and 34/100ths. Feel free to pause this video if you need to get it copied down. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one. The next problem is 7 divided by 2/10. And like we were doing in class on Tuesday, I'm going to write these numbers separately over here because if you remember correctly, I cannot have a decimal point in my divisor, which I do currently have right now. So I'm going to have to kick that decimal place out one time to make it a whole number. What I do here, I also have to do in my dividend. There's a decimal point at the end of every whole number. I put it there. I move it out one time. I have an empty egg carton. I place the egg inside the egg carton. So that gives me a new problem of 70 divided by 2. And some of you guys may already know what this answer is, but we're still going to work it out. I'm going to go ahead and get my box method set up. Just need 2 boxes here because I have to put the 7 inside and the 0 inside. 2 goes on the outside. I have to ask myself, how many times can 2 go into 7? 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Move the 1 up and over. How many times can 2 go into 10? 5. 2 times 5 is 10. I subtract. I get 0. Therefore, I get my answer 35. The last 2 questions on here are word problems. The first word problem says, Esperanza usually buys avocados for 94 cents a piece. During a sale, she gets 5 avocados for $4.10. How much did 1 avocado cost? How much money did she save per avocado? So this is going to be a 2-step problem. The first thing I need to figure out is how much 1 avocado cost if she bought 5 for $4.10. So that tells me right there that I need to divide. And I am sharing the amount of money that she spent. So that means my $4.10 goes inside of my house here. Because the decimal is in the dividend, I leave it in the problem. And remember, it just likes to sit on the roof, so I move it straight up, okay? Then I have to ask myself my questions. How many times can 5 go into 4? It cannot, so that makes that first part easy for me. And I move the 4 up and over to the 1. How many times can 5 go into 41? 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. 41 minus 40 is 1. Bring that 1 up and over, that gives me 10. How many times can 5 go into 10? 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. So that means that one avocado cost 82 cents. She usually buys avocados for 94 cents a piece. And my question wants to know how much money did she save per avocado? So now I've got to do a subtraction problem to figure out how much she saved. So I've got 94 cents minus 82 cents. Four minus 2 is going to be 2. 9 minus 8 is 1. Place that decimal straight down. 0, so therefore she saved 12 cents per avocado. The last word problem says Thomas has 49 feet of rope. He needs to cut the rope into 3.5 foot pieces. How many pieces of rope will he have? Well, here is another great example of shared divided by who, because we have to think about what's being shared and who or where it's going to. The 49 feet of rope are being shared. And I'm sharing because I'm cutting them into 3.5 foot pieces. So I have to divide by 3.5. When I look at this problem here, I know that I have a decimal in my divisor, so I know that I have to kick it out. I'm going to go ahead and write both numbers over here because it helps if we do that and move the decimal out first, so then I can rewrite the new equation. First thing I do is make it a whole number. I move it one place out to the right, it is now 35. For my whole number, 49, I have to place a decimal at the end, move it out one place. Because I have an empty egg crate, I have to lay a turtle egg, or lay a 0 there. So now I have 490 divided by 35. That's the new problem that I've created, and that's the problem that I'm going to use for my box method. So I am going to set up here. I need 3 boxes, 4, 9, and 0. I have 35 on the outside, and now I'm ready to divide. Can 35 go into 4? No. Put my 0 up. 4 minus 0 is 4. I move the 4 up and over. How many times can 35 go into 49? That would be 1 time. 49 minus 35 would be 14. And I have to move that 14 up and over. Now's where it gets a little tricky. How many times can 35 go into 140? Well, I'm going to have to do some math over here in order to figure that out. First thing that I'm going to start with is 35 times 2 just to see what that gives me. That would be 10, carry my 1, so that would be 70. Okay, so let's try 4 this time. 5 times 4 is 20, 0 goes down, 2 goes up. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So that means 35 can go into 144 times. And when I subtract here, I'm going to get zeros all the way across. So that means that he will have 14 pieces of rope. On Monday, we will continue to review these, but if you have any questions, please make sure to jot them down or send me a message in Canvas and ask. Go ahead and get this glued into your math notebook now or placed into your yellow folder and get ready for the next assignment.